By the time Idi Amin expelled our Indians, they had a population of 80,000 that time. So I'm glad to hear that we are now 40,000. That's good. I went to an Indian temple in London, and I found some of the Indians there saying that, oh, Idi Amin had chesters and so on. I said, you people, you stop wasting our time. I told them that Idi Amin, and your chairperson is a sharp boy. I heard him speaking here. I told those Indians that Idi Amin did more damage to the Africans than to you. Because for you, he just chased you. I think he killed 3 Indians. There was an Indian called Hassan, a policeman. And there was another, there were like 2 or 3 killed by Idi Amin. But the Ugandans, he killed like 500,000, the Africans. And then he damaged our economy, because when he chased the Indians went to better economies. But we stayed here with a collapsed economy. So Idi Amin did more damage to the Africans than to the Indians. Now, as I told you many times, I never saw any problem with our Indian people. In our sub-county of Ntungamo, with Mamu, we had 4 Bahindi. One of them was, and we were naming them according to our understanding of their languages. There was Budara. That would be Abdallah. But in our language we say Budara. And I was selling him milk in 1952. I would take milk to him. That's when I discovered that Indian women talk a lot. Budara's wife would talk. Then we had his brother, Hari. We were calling him Hari. I think his real name would have been Ali. And then we had Mamudari. Mamudari, his children are here. The one called, he has got a building here in Entebbe. What is his name? Megani. Megani was with us. Those children were with us in our primary school, with Mama here. The children of Mamudari. And then there was the 4th family. Then they were joined by 2 Arabs. They were called Washihiri, I think. And one of them was called Bumbakari in our language. I think he would have been called Abubakar, but for us we changed it completely. So those Indians were very much complementary to what we were doing. Because we were doing different things, they were doing different things, and they were complimenting us and we were complimenting them. Like we were selling them our products, selling them our milk, selling them our groundnuts, banana, these are ripe bananas, beans. And they would buy our hides and skins to take them somewhere. ghee, and they were bringing us what we did not have. They would bring us textiles, sugar, cattle salt, and so on. So really, Amin's basis on calling Indians exploiters was rubbish. There was no basis. They were helping us. That's why, therefore, when we came from the bush, we had no problem insisting in the Parliament, the National Resistance Council, that all the Indians must come back if they want, and they should get back their property. And the properties were few, 4,000 in the whole of Uganda. If you look at the properties in the Kampala and Entebbe area alone now, there are like 2 million properties. And you can imagine this, Idi Amin was making a big story about 4,000 properties, many of them small shops and so on. It shows you how the lack of vision is very dangerous. Leaders who don't have vision should never be in leadership in a country. It's very dangerous. So I'm very glad that when we removed these people and called you back, you came. Thank you very much for trusting Uganda again. And what the young chairman was saying, there was another earlier chairman who used to talk of Uganda being the land of the 3 Ps. Peaceful, pleasant, and profitable. That is another sharp young man also, the one who used to be chairman before. They're very sharp people. So therefore, I encourage you to continue. So by you investing in factories and services and so on, you are helping us to create a middle class in Uganda and a skilled working class. And also you are helping us to create a revenue base for the government from which it can get money to educate the young Ugandans, so that through the 2 channels, business and education, we create a middle class society and a skilled working class, a modern society. So I therefore thank you, and I want to assure you that we appreciate what you are doing. I have been advising Ugandans who say, factory yomi indi, an Indian factory. I said, no, this is not factory of an Indian. Indian factories are in India. If a Ugandan goes to India and builds a factory there, it will be Indian factory, a black Ugandan. So all the factories here are Ugandan factories. They are not. I would ask Ugandans to change their language and say, instead of saying factory Umindi, they should say factory Afe, our factory. Because it is ours. That's what the GDP says. Gross domestic products means all properties in the territory of Uganda are part of the GDP of Uganda. So I really thank you. I don't have enough words to thank you for what you have done. God bless you. Thank you.